We'll begin our day. Maroon and white notebook. Saw this on my Twitter X timeline. And I've seen this, yahoosports.com. I've seen so many reports. But at September, let's see, at 2 p.m. on September 4th, the day before the Aggie season opener, at 2 p.m. on September 4th, the day before the Aggie season opener, a statue of longtime A&M head coach R.C. Slocum is going to be unveiled in the North Plaza outside of Kyle Field. And it's been swirled around on social media. Quote, has been confirmed with sources close to the situation. The same artist, sculptor, who did the John David Crow statue, which is outside Kyle Field, is going to do the R.C. Slocum statue that'll be outside Kyle Field. And Slocum is the most iconic anyone associated with Aggie football. 30 years coaching, started in 72, assistant under Emory Bellard, promoted to DC under Tom Wilson, DC under Jackie Sherrill, became the head coach in 1989, 14 seasons, head coach, 123, 47, and 2. Follow me, because all these stats, all these incredible things he did. In his 14 seasons, he lost only 12 home games. Do you need any other stat? Because I could tell you how many 10-win seasons, championship, but that's all great. I mean, 14 seasons head coach. He lost only 12 home games in 14 seasons. That, for me, that's what I need to know. That's where I sit there and go, holy, and then they bleep me out after that. 14 seasons as the head coach, he lost only 12 home games total. He had 5 10-win seasons. And folks, I'm going to help the youngsters. They didn't play 12 games a year back then. So 10 wins was glorious. 10 wins was impossible. 10 wins was a lot more value than it is today. Because A, they didn't play 12 games. You didn't get to schedule 4 Missouri States, Gumby State, the Citadel, University of the Blind. So it was different. It was harder, much harder to get 10 dubs. So R.C. Slocum, 14 seasons, only 12 home losses. I grew up during that period. My first semester as a student, and you can be an Aggie. I mean, no, I don't want to get into that. I came to some A&M games before I became a student. My first semester as an Aggie student was 87. I was here for the prime, the wrecking crew, all of it. So I was here, decade of excellence. I didn't know it was okay to lose at home. I was here for only 12 home losses in 14 years. I was raised with a different perspective of expectation. And it was glorious. Greatness should never lose at home. Over the years, you've heard me talk about the signs, the measuring stick of great programs. That's part of my definition. And it's not just a R.C. Slocum decade of excellence is defining. You can look at Alabama dynasties and other great You never lose at home. The Never. You never, ever lose at home. If you're that guy, if you're that team, you never, ever lose at home. That's facts. It's not, oh no, because if you're a top 5 team and it's a 5-1 matchup, home is the tiebreaker. You never lose at home. Back to the R.C. Slocum statue. 14 seasons. He only lost 12 home games total. 5 10-win seasons back when they didn't play 12 a year. 4 SWC, no, that's incorrect. 4 conference titles, 3 SWCs, 1 Big 12, 10 ranked finishes. So in his 14 years, 10 times finishing ranked. He is the longest tenured and winningest coach in A&M history. Now, if that was his story, I don't think you need anything else to explain his place in history. But for me, there's more, and it adds to his iconicness. Twice he served as A&M's interim athletic director. He provided stability. He provided assurance. He provided a calm. It was like, oh, RC's the interim, and everybody's like, calm down. It's all right. We'll get through this together. So twice he stepped up, stepped in. He is in the A&M Athletic Hall of Fame. He's in the Texas Sports Hall of Fame. He's in the College Football Hall of Fame. So again, R.C. Slocum, statue goes up September 4th, 2 p.m. That's the day before. That's the Friday. A&M Missouri State. If you want to be out there for it, go, go, go. Man, put $50K out there. You think I'm kidding, right? Put $50K. Put $100K. Make A&M sit there and go, oh, we didn't see this happening. It's deserved. Take over. Do a statue campus takeover for this thing. Turn it into, the largest, event ever. It's deserved. Again, words will not explain his iconicness, his legend. I just gave you some to explain his role, position, what he did. There's been nothing like it before. There's been nothing like it after in Aggie football history. Period. 30 years coaching at A&M. Served under Ballard and Wilson and Jackie. Head coach himself. Decade of excellence. 3 different Hall of Fames. Served as the interim. And I just come back to the one thing. 12 home losses in his 14 total years. That's greatness. And in the what-if world, if at the time he had the all-in commitment, if he had the all-in commitment, I wonder what, during his time, A&M just couldn't win the Cotton Bowl, finished that last game. They won everything in sight. They were a top 10 program. But what stopped them from being like 6, 7, 8, or 1, 2, 3 was that last game. And the final step was commitment. He didn't have the money to keep his coaches. They didn't have the facility and things like that, man, the infamous one. A&M could have been an Oklahoma old school dynasty back then. And what Texas and Bama was, that paradigm shift that could have lasted till today. Because how many times have you heard in your Aggie lifetime, why has A&M been the most underachieving college football program ever? And A&M has been. That's A&M's role in college football history. They are the most underachieving program in the history of college football. And that moment in history, because RC did not, but it wasn't supported and pushed all in when you had everything but the commitment from above. Now, we've had everything above, and they hired Sumlin and Fran. It's the complete reverse. You've heard the word alignment? When RC was here, things weren't aligned because of above them. And now, since we'll say joining the SEC, it's been unaligned above and below. With Elko, the $1 million question is this: is it all finally aligned, above and below? TBD. Sure in the hell seems like with the head coach, it's perfectly aligned, to be fair. No, I'll grab my first time out of the day. Congrats, Darcy. I almost shake my head and go, holy cow, he doesn't have a statue already? Because, it's almost like he should be the first. Now, other statues up. John David Crow, which that should be the first. I know that. The other statues around Kyle Field, Warham Monument, Yell Leaders honoring Reveille, Fighting Texas Aggie Band, Corps Cadets, and let's see. Oh, and then there's a statue that honors the core A&M core values. Slocum will be the only coach. And there's 2 former players, E. King Gill and John David Crow. I think that's a pretty great. I think that's pretty nailed right, don't you, for statues? So I saw this, and that's what's at the forefront of my sports mind. September 4th, 2 p.m., be there. Like I said, do a campus statue takeover. Now, I don't mean in the violent protesting. There's no reason to throw like Molotov cocktails. I mean in the happy celebration way. I'll be back. We're just getting started. It's the Louie Bellina Show. Thursday, it's the Louie Bellina Show presented by CC Electric on the Zone, 1150 AM and 93.7 FM.
Aggie football sounds even better online. Check it out at RadioAggieland.com.
The Louie Bellina Show just getting started. Louie Bellina Show presented by CC Electric, built on faith, family, and community. Text message, first one of the day. There was only one home loss in the first 5 seasons. Thanksgiving night of his first season against Arkansas. Decade of excellence, R.C. Slocum. For me, I mentioned earlier, I got here, Aggieland, Texas A&M student, fall 87. I remember when I would say that, and it wasn't that long ago, and then it gets a little bit longer ago and a little bit longer ago, and now I realize, man, that was a while ago, wasn't it? My very first game at home, Saturday night, Kyle Field. A&M was ranked in the top 10. Now, look, I don't look this up. I'm telling you my memory. And was A&M 7? Were they 17? Jackie Sherrill's the head coach. And one of the most brilliant things in the universe with Jackie, he wasn't here long at that point for me, but Jackie was the greatest motivator in the world. Remember, he brought the terrible towel and bonfire, all these things. He had everyone all in with his football team and Aggie football. Everyone. And every year, every moment, I think even after they took their second or third loss that year after starting top 10 or whatever, you thought you were going to win the national championship. That's the thing. He always had you all in. So here I am, and I knew A&M was going to win the national championship. So I am 100%. I'm ODing on the sugar high of the maroon Kool-Aid. And LSU wins. Fights on the track. No, seriously, LSU fans coming over the rails. Core people explaining to them that that's not how it works as they're trying to get on the field. Fights on the track. Fights on Northgate. And Kyle Field at night is college football at its most perfect. But now that you don't get to control your start times, how many times do you just get a true night game? No, you're playing at stupid 11 a.m., the worst version of college football. And you have 2 o'clock slots and 3 o'clock slots. Kyle Field at night is what God meant college football to be. I feel like the sound and is magnified. Kyle Field at night, the crowd totally disappears. It's not the crowd, the world. Because all that exists is like the spotlight. The darkness just makes Kyle Field, the crowd, the sound is intensified. It's the Gladiators Coliseum. It's beautiful. But at night, day, not saying it's not still fun and great in its own way, but it's just not even close by comparison for my taste. Kyle Field at night. So I can handle 6, or like the first half, it's still light, and then the second half, when the price of poker gets up, It's just the intensity level. You know, I thought it only goes to 10. No, Kyle Field has 11. But yeah, and A&M loses to LSU. It's shocking. It never dawned on me you could lose. And that's my first game. And you're going through all the emotions of the yells and the greatness and the intensity and then the game itself and all the fights. I loved it. I loved every moment, every second. And in a loss, and that was another thing that was transformative, that even in a loss, I was in love with the experience of it all. Benny and LaGrange, I'm guessing the RC statue will be wearing a ball cap. I will just say it better. I guess maybe if I Googled, I could find a photo of the statue online, or maybe not. I hope they don't leak a photo of it. I mean, it might be too late. Everything was online yesterday, and I'm sure there was a photo. I just saw the story. So I'm sure there should, I don't know. Maybe they keep it a secret. Maybe they don't. It's got to have a ball cap, right? I mean, it has to. 979-693-1150. 979-693-1150. Light up the inbox. And till 12 o'clock anyway, your text gets you registered to win a $50 gift card to Rudy's Barbecue. The ticket booth is open till 12. The ticket booth is thanks to Dixie Tire Company. Simple concept. If you're zoned, Brian Broadcasting, prize eligible, I'm saying there's a chance. Are you saying there's a chance? I just said there's a chance. Text 979-693-1150. Dixie Tire Company has been serving Bryan College Station like 36, going on 37 years. They're open Monday through Friday till 6, Saturday till 1, and you can always call with your questions at 775-TIRE. 775-TIRE. Text now. Maroon and White Notebook. It's going to be a long year for Aggie soccer. They lost 3-2 to Texas State. By the way, I'm having to adjust to saying the Pac-12 Texas State, but it's true. They're a G6 Pac-12. And they lost horribly. And he lost to a Texas State, but someone here at the station watched. So they gave me the scouting report, and they lost it in like Little League Central Park high school level ways, where the goaltender just couldn't field a basic punt with like 3 minutes left. And they lost to Texas State. And they lost in horrible fashion to Texas State. This could be a really, really long year for Aggie soccer. They lost, and they lost horribly to Texas State. So, oh boy, this could be a long year. They're now 1-2 with losses to Rice and a horrific loss to Texas State. Maybe it clicks. New coach, new system. Maybe they turn things around. That was bad. Maroon and White Notebook. I saw a tweet. Texags reported this. A&M left-handed pitcher Ethan Darden will participate in team activities with the Aggies this fall as he awaits on a final eligibility ruling. Then, of course, I'd say the top story sure, why not? I'll make up words. The top story in all, and I mean all, of college athletics was the 30 players filing for extra eligibility, led by 16 of them being football, 3 from Ole Miss. And these are players that are already NFL rosters, NFL camp, played in preseason games. Here's the exact story. Former Ole Miss starters, Daquan Wright, Xavier Harris, Wyatt Adams, all who signed with NFL teams this summer. Trio of Rebels joined 30 others, 16 are football players. The lead name, and he is the poster child, Tampa Bay Buccaneers rookie Jack Pyburn. He had 2 sacks in a preseason game win over the Jets on Friday. He's collected a check for $115K as part of his contract already. He's part of that pool of 30. They're all trying to come back to college. It's all part of the 5 for 5, the new eligibility thing. So 16 football. 3 Ole Miss, 1 LSU player with 2 sacks and 115K already are trying to come back to college. Ethan Darden, participating team, trying to get his final eligibility. Louis Bellina, just me, yesterday evening, have reached my breaking point. I am so tired of lawsuit, court, judges, eligibility, rulings, decisions, hearing, talking, pondering, wondering, caring. This is so not the sports I know, love, care, want at all. I don't understand, and I am not a lawyer, did not stay at a Holiday Inn Express, but I have zero understanding of how any of them should have any rights or legal recourse. To me, the basic crux of this is they existed in a different time and place. How do they retroactively any of this applies to them? That's like me saying that, okay, I live in this place. I live in a duplex, and my rent is $2,000. And then they cut it to $1,500, and I sue them, wanting them to pay me back for the 3 years I lived there before and what it should have been because they cut it now. Now, we know nobody cuts rent, but I want to sue and get rent back for the 5 years I lived when it was more expensive then. Like, that's in my head how I see these things. Different time, different place, different rules. How do these all retroactively apply? And then all these judges granting these injunctions and appeals saying, yeah, you're included. It didn't apply to them. Their time was done before the rule. Because, your date was X. This happened on Y. X is before Y. This is basic stuff to me, but I'm simple. And judges and courts are destroying something I love. It's fatiguing me. And when the games start, we won't care. I think every offseason there's something, whether we're talking about Super Conference realignment, we're talking about the CFP expansion. And that was last season, right? Last offseason. There's something that gets pushed so hard, so extreme, so absurd that it tires us. I feel like that's becoming a thing, right? And next week is game week. And by gosh, UNLV and Memphis. I'm just telling you, I'm going to get an expert from each side. Every day, we're going to do 2 hours of scouting reports. It is better than this court. It is better than these rulings. It is better than retroactively 3 years ago I was in college. The absurd base of this. And here's the thing. Am I mad at the players? Hell no. They're doing it the American way. Shoot your shot. Go for greatness. And the only reason they're doing it is because the courts are so just willy-nilly ruling. Because you're saying there's a chance. I'm saying there's a chance. When there should be 0.0. They know the players. You just go to your local judge, and they're like, wink, wink. I remember when you autographed that jersey for my son. Heck yeah, I'm granting you the waiver. There's no consistency. It's a sham. It's a disaster. What do you mean? You got a pro check. Why are you even filing that? Quit wasting ink. Should be what the judge says. But I'm tired. Yesterday was my breaking point. I was entertained before. I could sit at my desk and, pass time reading it, but I am officially done and over. It is so fatiguing because it's so dumb. Guy had 2 sacks in the NFL preseason game, got a check for $115K, and he's filing to go back to college. When the rules are simple. He declared for the draft. He got drafted. You're not a college athlete. And I'm going to be clear. I don't care if it benefits A&M. I don't care if it benefits LSU. I don't care. Rules be rules, and there are no rules, and it's not a comfortable way for me to be a sports fan. That's it. Moving on. Timeout. Come back. We'll continue in the Maroon and White Notebook. This is the Louis Bellina Show inside the Charles Schwab studio. Thursday on the Zone.
Right. Listen up, class.
The Money Machine is open now.
No.
Make sure to enter each week
Everyone comes out a winner.
at Zone1150.com or through the Zone newsletter to win $5,000.
The Louis Bellina Show inside the Charles Schwab studio. Louis Bellina Show presented by CC Electric. It is Thursday. Coming up at 12. The return. Cedric Golden, Austin American statesman. Look, he's been with me, I think it's 20 plus, 18 to 22. Been with me forever. We talk Longhorns, we talk Aggies, we talk more. Joins us on the D4 Land Services hotline. If you're looking for help, land clearing, land excavation, land fixed up, D4landservices.com. They do more. Custom metal buildings from the ground up, pond construction, forestry, mulching. Check out everything they do at D4landservices.com. So Cedric Golden's back. Can't wait. Just a great guy. Just a great human being. OG, old school journalist. Cannot wait. 12 o'clock. He is back with us on the D4 Land Services hotline. Maroon and White Notebook rolls on. Yesterday, we got the preseason coaches, all SEC football. First team, Mario Craver. Second team, Mark Naboo. Third team, DJ Hicks. Third team, Terry Bussey. I like all of it, but by the end of the year, and Tony and I talk about this, Catalina, Gig'em 247, Ray Coney and Tosaka will be first, second, or third, but Coney, Saka will be first or second team. I would be stunned. In the hands of the development that we have seen, Elko and his staff, and the defensive side, I'll say especially with Elko play calling, my head cannot comprehend a college football universe that does not have Coney and Saka. That's my prediction. That would be 6. Now, players get injured, don't develop as much. Who else will step up, step in, and take advantage of the opportunity? If Damian Sanford is healthy enough to start the year, because he's already practicing, shockingly, incredibly, congrats to him. His next step up will probably be an all-SEC, even if it's third-team linebacker. His chaos rate already, and look at his natural growing curve. And no one's talking about him because of the injury where you thought he wasn't even going to play in the first month. But if he's already ahead of the curve and he gets to start in the first month, and Ray Coney's wandering the universe, they're going to unleash Sanford, but no one's talking about him because of the injury. And he's a playmaker type. That's his trajectory. That's who he is at linebacker. No, and this secondary, I feel like they've gotten more disrespected as we've gotten closer to the season, yet 3 of them are NFL projected. 3. No, none of them All-American. When Craver at men will be an All-American. Marcel Reed did not get first, second, or third team. And look, how much have we documented, conversated about Marcel? Everyone's talking about picks. And I'm telling you, if he gets better down-to-down, play-to-play, everything changes. And time of possession, his accuracy, completion percentage will go through the roof. It's down-to-down. It's not just, don't throw a pick on the last drive down 3 or anything like that. I mean, that will always suck, but down-to-down. Just quit throwing away plays. Quit missing the easy plays. And his numbers and everything will change. That's really my point of emphasis. Maroon and White Notebook. Something I saw, and it was this morning, fascinated me because I'm trying to figure it out still, and maybe you can help me, maybe not. CBSSports.com, they do this every year. They'll update it every week. Bowl projections. And what's bigger than the CFP, which isn't bowls, but they use the bowls, therefore they put it in their bowl projections, right? Their first of the year, college football bowl projection. So who's going to the CFP? Not A&M. If you look at their 1 to 138, and CBS Sports is pretty consistent, but this sure is not. They have A&M 11. 11 will not make the CFP because at large, things get moved right there. If you're 11-12, you generally are not in the CFP. Right away, the group of 6 will bump you back 1 spot. But 11-12 tend to not go. So I didn't expect A&M to be in the CBS Sports CFP because they had A&M at 11 in their 1 to 138. they had A&M going to the Music City Bowl, which that's an 8-win bowl. And if you're 11 in their 1-138, a consistency of projection is not the Music City Bowl for the number 11 team in the country. Do you know, in theory, even though I don't believe this, you could have 10 wins and be 11. 9-3 on an SEC schedule for A&M, I don't think will equal 11. An 11 ranking is kind of problematic. I think if A&M's 9-3, they won't be 11. They might be 14, 15, 16. A 10 win will be in the CFP, which you probably have to rank them inside the top 10. I don't know how A&M could actually be 11 in a ranking, but that's me being way too, maybe I had too much time for an hour when I was thinking about this, because 11 is a weird ranking. 10 wins and they'll be inside the top 10 on their schedule in the SEC. 9 wins and I think they'll be back more than 11. I think they'll be in the 15 range, whether it's 14 or 16 or 15. So 11 is hard, but the Music City Bowl is 8-win country. And A&M, according to CBSSports.com, their first projection to start the year is the Music City Bowl against Michigan. Well, and that's 8 wins. That's not 9. They also have Alabama in the ReliaQuest Bowl, so I guess Alabama will have an opening this offseason. Alabama is one of the few job openings that makes every school, minus Ohio State, quake. And I'm telling you right now, if Alabama has an opening, they're going straight after Cignetti. Can they take Cignetti away from Indiana? Because they got Mark Cuban money. And does Alabama have a Mark Cuban? I will not sit here and try and fake it like I know the Alabama donor lineup of people. Maybe they have 2 Mark Cubans, and I have no clue. But that would be the final test of the Cuban commitment, would be if Bama goes after Cignetti. But you know that's who they're going to go after. 100%. Oh, sorry. Man, did I just already go to the firing of DeBoer when, at the end of November in Indiana trying to hold on to him? Cignetti? I did, didn't I? Back to the bowl projections. So, that was what stood out to me. They pick A&M 11 but put them in the Music City Bowl. I find that to be highly, highly incongruent. That won't happen. Those two things don't fit to me. Now, who are the playoff teams according to their bowl projections? I'll take a timeout, and when we return, who are the 12? I'll tell you the back 3. UNLV is their G6. SMU gets an at-large, and BYU gets an at-large. This is the Louis Bellina Show, Thursday. It is the Louis Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric on the Zone, Thursday.
The Houston Astros play in the zone. Thanks to Kelly Bird Dozer.
Something big is coming. September 2nd. Go ahead and mark your calendar. DraftKings Game Day is arriving with massive deals, exclusive deals, an all-day celebration built for sports fans. The countdown has begun. All roads lead to game day. You, if you're a new DraftKings customer, can sign up with the code KZNEAM. Spend $5 to get $150 in rewards within 14 days. The code again is KZNEAM. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click-to-claim issued in non-withdrawable prediction dollars that expire in 1 year. Ends August 23rd. Terms, check them out. dking.co/predictions promo. Nationwide based on sportsbook predictions and free-to-play sports contest availability varies by state. We were talking CBSSports.com. They did their bowl predictions. And in their 1-138, A&M's like 11, but they put A&M in the Music City Bowl, which is an 8-win bowl. It does not add up. And I'm sure what it is they have 2 different people do it, but I don't like the inconsistency of it. I do not. Here are the teams that went in. Miami, Oregon, Georgia, Notre Dame. No arguments. Texas. Yes, I'm buying Texas as a CFP team. Yes, they can implode, but I'm buying them. Texas Tech, absolutely. UNI can be the OC and the DC, and Texas Tech will make the CFP. They just have a comedy schedule. Indiana, I'm not buying them. That's the hold category. Look, they have a stock of NFL players that people don't know because they're Indiana. And that's the dirty little secret. Why do I have to believe Josh Hoover's the answer? I don't. I really don't. Ohio State, death, taxes, and 10 wins. They're in. LSU. Lane Kiffin got it done once. They have almost 50 new people. New OCD. In year one. So buy, sell, hold, right? Miami, Oregon, Georgia, Notre Dame, buy. Texas, I'm buying as a 10-win CFP. But they have one of the most brutal schedules I've ever seen. If they fail, you shouldn't be surprised. But their talent level, skill is insane. Will Muschamp's probably their kryptonite. Texas Tech, hard buy. Indiana, hold. Ohio State, all the stock you can get. LSU's my sell. And then the at-larges, BYU and SMU come from conferences where their bottom end is so low. They have all these built-in wins that it's like, why not? It's not about best team. The one thing, if you got nothing else from the Louis Bellina show, listening to Brett Ciancia and just other experts, not me. I just hang out here, right? It's not about the CFP is not the 12 best teams. Don't say that. Don't make the mistake. It's not the narrative. It's not. This is not the 12 best teams. It's a formula. It's a format. And remember, the NFL playoffs aren't the best teams. The MLB playoffs, no playoffs are the best teams. There is a formula to qualify. Okay? It's not, and that's the thing about people when we argue about the college football thing, right? Why are we obsessed with the best teams? No other playoff format does that either. Why should college football? But the difference is, like the NFL just has it on paper, and you don't argue with paper. We use a committee in humans. Humans argue all the time. That's our different reaction. And in college football, there will be 16 teams in the playoff. Each conference, including the G6, will send X, and you will qualify this way. No meetings, no committees, no polls. Everything's an AQ. And we'd have no arguments. There'd be no, conversations like this. So that's the 12 teams from CBSSports.com. The opening round, the quarterfinal, number 8, Ohio State at number 9, LSU. I'd buy that game. This is fascinating. 7, Indiana, 10, BYU. I want to watch that game. And maybe that's just the offseason speaking. Number 6, Texas Tech at number 11, SMU. Man, that is SWC revisited. And then last year the quarters were a mutt fest. Right there, those first 3. Gimme. Here's the mutt fest. Number 5, Texas, number 5, would host number 12, UNLV. Ooh. I have said before that I actually think the 5 seed in all of the CFP is the best seed. Now, if you're top 4, you get a bye, but bye equals rust, and bye teams other than the eventual national champ, Indiana, were awful. I don't know what's wrong with the bye, but the bye doesn't seem to work. Is it too long off? Do teams lose focus? Semester's over. Too much time on your hands sticks. I don't know what the problem is with that yet. Not enough data points, not enough big enough sample size, but bye don't work. I think 5. 5 pulls 12, doesn't get 1. Think about that. 5 pulls 12, doesn't get 1. So you stay sharp. You get a home game and an exhibition match in the CFP to start. Confidence builder. I think 5's the best seed. So that's your quarters. And then they project. I mean, now they pick winners, and that's a bit much. But in the semis, oh no, that's the opening round, first round. Then the quarterfinals. We're working on this. Miami versus Ohio State, quarterfinals. Miami, Ohio State, Oregon, Indiana, Georgia, Texas Tech, Notre Dame, Texas. Do you know that opening round matchup sounded more exciting than the next round? Because Miami, Ohio State, yes. Oregon, Indiana, no. Georgia, Texas Tech, no. Notre Dame, Texas, that does. Come on. That's as blue blood as college football gets. But I don't know. LSU, Ohio State, BYU, Indiana, SMU, Tech. Okay, about equal, really. I just need college football, and man, do I need it now. When we return, up next, man, I'm excited. Let's go. Cedric Golden of the Austin American-Statesman. He is back. We talk Longhorns, we talk Aggies, and more. He'll join us on the Deep Land Services Hotline. This is the Louis Bellina Show, Thursday on The Zone. I'll be right back.